Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Shampriti and I hope you all are doing well. I know, it's been quite a long time since I have made a video, but here I am and I never left. Actually, I was quite busy with PhD research work and stuff related to that. Now I'm back with a very exciting video, a very essential for that, which is how to make a research proposal for a PhD. Many of you have been asking me to make a video on this topic, so here it goes. Before starting the video, let me tell you, please like if you really like this video. Please share with your friends who are UGC NET aspirants. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Also, I am really proud of all of you who have cracked NET 2023 June cycle with JRF, without JRF, even all of you who have not been able to make it this year. I am really proud of all of you, and those who haven't made it are really close, and you will get it in the next run. I am sure of it. Number two is I'm making this video in the morning, so there might be a lot of noises outside. I'm really sorry for that in advance. And the next thing is that actually my cat ran onto... Hey! This is my cat. So, without further ado, let's dive right into the video, shall we? You have qualified UGC NET with or without JRF, SET and GATE. Either of them, two of them, or all of them. Now what is your next step? Let me tell you. NET means National Eligibility Test for Assistant Professor. SET means State Eligibility Test for Assistant Professor. According to the rule of UGC, you can apply for the post of Assistant Professor after qualifying UGC NET, because it is an all India competition, all India eligibility test for the post of Assistant Professor. But in the CSC interview, which is called a Service Commission interview, or the PSC interview, that is Public Service Commission interview, for the post of Assistant Professor, there is a section where it's mentioned that if you have PhD, you are going to get quite a bit of score for that. If you have the degree, if you have completed your PhD, that gives you an additional marks of 25, if I'm not wrong. So if you don't have PhD, then you are not going to get that marks. If you have PhD, you are going to get it. This is not to demotivate you. It's not the case that if you don't have PhD, you are not going to be able to be an assistant professor with just NET. That can be the case. But when you are entering academia, especially if you have JRF, that is Junior Research Fellowship, especially you have a knack for higher studies. Of course, if you are in academia, you must love studying, you must love reading, you must be an avid reader, right? So research is one way for you to get to the point of your success. And to do a research, the key is to write a proposal. Research proposal. You're interested in an area, you're interested in some topic, and you are going to apply for the position of a doctoral student or a PhD student, that is Doctor of Philosophy, which is really a big deal, PhD. And when you are applying, you have to propose, which means you have to present the professors with an idea of what exactly you are interested in and what exactly it is that you want to work on. Because it is not a graduation or post-graduation degree, it is a specialization, it is a research, it is something that you are going to work on for 4-5 years, if not more than that. Research proposal is the base for your PhD, which means you are giving the professors an idea, a blueprint of what you want to work on in your PhD years. Why is your research proposal important for a PhD? The research proposal is the skeleton of your application process for a PhD. Number one, it helps the faculty of the university in which you are applying to decide whether there is an expertise that can support you, that can guide you in your venture with the proposed area of research. Number two, it is a great part of your application. It is the base of your application, as I have already mentioned, that plays a big role in the assessment of your application and the decision whether you are going to be selected as a candidate or not. Number three, don't think that the research area and the provisional topic is the one that you are going to be sticking to for the rest of the years of your research. It is most likely to be changed as you read on and as your research experience evolves with the course of time and efforts and experiences. But research proposal is something that will keep you grounded, that will make you rooted to the whole research work, that will get you towards the room, that will get you towards the whole reign of research work. That is why making a research proposal, making a substantial research proposal for that is really important, and you must work on the research area, if not the whole of it, because you don't have to read all of it, you don't have to be fully prepared with your research area and all for getting into PhD, because you are proposing to work on something. You are not claiming that you have like the grip on the whole of it, because then there is no point of doing a PhD if you know everything about it. But you must know something about it. You must know why you want to work on it. You must know what interests you. You must know what is it that needs to be done in the field that you are interested in. How long should your research proposal be? It depends on the institution and on the how long should your research proposal be. Ideally, it should not be too long or it should not be too short. Always remember, rather than writing everything about it, it is important for you to be brief, comprehensive, and categorical, which is the key to write anything, the art of writing. I want to make another video specifically dedicated to that, how to write an answer, which is important not only in the competitive exams like NET, GET, UPSC, BCS, and examinations like that, but also for graduation and post-graduation, master's thesis, and all that. The art of writing is really important. You should be brief, you should be categorical, you should be very clear, so that a layman who does not know anything about the topic that you're working on can get some idea about it while reading your proposal. So it should be very clear, it should not be obscure, it should not be very long and stretchy. It should be very compact and comprehensive. What are the most essential parts of a research proposal? Well, it does vary, but primarily speaking, an ideal research proposal should have 6 parts. Number 1, and one of the most essential parts, is the title, which is the condensed representation of the area and the topic that you are interested in and you want to work upon. It should be comprehensive, of course, and it should carry the gist of the interest of your research. It should be attractive so that the examiner can't help going further reading your proposal. Number 2, and also very important, is the overview, which is also the background that consists of the historical overview of your research project, a short literature review, what are the work that have already been done on the research area that you are working on, and where are the gaps that you want to fill in. What is the rationale of your work? This will include a very dedicated study of your discipline. Suppose you're working on Victorian fiction, particular topic in Victorian. Suppose you're working on the crime fiction of a particular author. So in this background and rationale part, in this overview part, you have to talk about the genre of crime fiction, where it originated, how was it in the Victorian time, what are the things that led the Victorian genre or genre of crime fiction to be as it was, a little bit idea about the author that you want to work on, and the literature review of the author that you want to work on. What are the other genre that the author has worked with, and how much research has already been done on it, and what are some loopholes that you want to bridge, and what are some gaps that you want to fill in through your research. Why is it important for you to work on something that happened long ago? Why do you think it is important and relevant for you to work on? Why do we care about it today? This is the overview or the background part of a research proposal, where you give a general idea about the discipline that you are working on, about the author you are working on, about the genre that you want to work on, about the historical, socio-political, cultural scenario that led the work to be produced. So now you are done with your title, you are done with the overview and historical background. Now the number 3 is research question. Research question, as its name suggests, are the questions that you are going to find the answers to in the course of your research. So it is a question, or these are the questions that you will be asking throughout your research, and you will explain why they are worth exploring in your research. For example, suppose you have taken an author and you are trying to find about the characters, the portrayal of characters in his or her work, and you find that there is a very visible scarcity of female characters in his or her work. So your research question might include that while reading between the lines of his works, I have found that there is a visible lack of female characters. Why is that so? What is the socio-economic, cultural scenario? What is the background? What is the backdrop that the work was produced in? and what is the contribution of that scenario or background to the lack of female characters in his work. The next and very important part is research methodology. Research methodology is a very important part of your paper 1 in UGC NET and also paper 2 in UGC NET in English. Now you know why they have included it in your NET syllabus, and they are giving more and more importance on it, because most of you are going to be in research after qualifying NET certificate, and it is important for you all to have an idea about the research methodology. Research methodology is a series of methods that a researcher undertakes to explore the research questions, the research problems. It should clearly mention the theories that you are going to employ in your research. It is going to include what are the processes, what are the procedures that are going to be implemented in the course of your research. Is it close reading of your texts? Is it translation? Is it a comparative study between two authors or two texts? Is it a historical study? Is it case study? Does it need interviews? Is interview the part of your methodology? Okay, so is it focus groups? Suppose a researcher is working on the effect of drugs on the youngsters as portrayed in some texts. So an interview should be included in the methodology. The case study of the drug addicts should be included in the methodology. In plain language, methodology is a procedure that you will be undertaking while going into your research. Number 5, the penultimate part of your research proposal is the schedule, the time and budget of your research. It is very important to give an overview of the time that you are going to take throughout your research, so that your supervisor and the university that you are working on, that you are applying in, can have a provisional idea about the time and budget that you are going to need. And number 6, the final and one of the backbones. There are many backbones for a research proposal. One of the backbones, one of the most important and supporting backbones of a research proposal is the bibliography or the references. It might not include all the books that you will be needing, because you never know what the other books that will come up in your way while you are researching. But you should prepare a tentative list of books that you are going to be needing. You can separate it in 2 parts. Number 1 is primary resources, number 2 is secondary resources. You can also subdivide the second part into secondary resources, books and journals. The more organized your proposal will be, the chances of you getting selected as a PhD candidate will be higher. Bibliography, the primary resources, mean the texts that you are going to be working on. Suppose you are working on T.S. Eliot's Wasteland and Salman Rushdie's The Satanic Verses. Maybe you are doing a comparative study between the 2 texts. So your primary texts will be Satanic Verses and The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. I'm not telling you that there are similarities between those texts, anything like that. There might be, there might not be, but I'm just giving you a very rash example of the same. The primary resources are the main core texts that you are going to be working on, and the secondary resources are the journals, the other books about dystopia and the theory books that you will be referring to, and the other online and offline resources that you will use. So this was the pattern of a research proposal, a very basic pattern that I have given you. Those who are beginning to write a research proposal, I hope this helps. And also another very important part of PhD application is shortlisting of the universities. You shortlist the universities that provide the courses that you're interested in. You should browse through the faculties, you should browse through their specialized areas so that you can have an idea of who are the professors that can guide you in your research project. I will give you a few links in the description box to give you an idea of sample research proposals that will help you write your own proposal. To remember, a good proposal, a good substantial proposal is the key to get into PhD. You have to be very good in your interview. This does not include you knowing everything about it. If you don't know anything, you should say that I have to read on it, I have to read more on it. But you should be honest and you should show the passion that you have behind your research work. You should frame your research questions really carefully so that you can give them the idea of the points that have driven you towards the research. Also, you should defend your proposal. You should be very strong with your basic work. And as for the bibliography, for example, if you have 10 books listed on your bibliography, at least 5 to 7 books should be there that you have already read. That's all for this video. Destination notes are there if you are going to appear for UGC NET Gate and you don't know how to, you're lost, you don't know how to start your preparation, then you can buy my notes destination. More than 200 students have been benefited from the notes and they have got their NET and JRF. I will give the email and WhatsApp number in the description box so that you can contact destination notes and have your own copy. All the best for the next NET, all the best for your writing your proposal, all the best for reading, and all the best for everything that you dream of. Thank you so much. Signing off. Bye.